Hi, and welcome to the second series of Nappy Changing and Brand Building with me, Laura Crawford, CEO and founder of Mama Bamboo. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Rachel Westbury from Nappy Endings, which is one of the UK's leading surrogacy agencies. So hi, Rachel.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, it's so lovely to have you on, actually. You're making quite a splash in the press with Nappy Endings and being able to actually talk about surrogacy in a more open way, which I think is such a big step forward for everyone.
Yeah, I just any opportunity that I get, and because we can't advertise, so press, PR, media, anytime can share stories and get the word out there about surrogacy and raise awareness. I'm all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't think everybody even knows it's an option, actually, when they're going through that journey of trying to get pregnant, the IVF journey. I don't think surrogacy is talked about enough as a third option that's out
Yeah.
there for them. So, yeah, anything you can do to just raise awareness, I think, is a great thing. But let's start actually with what was your own journey to starting Nappy Endings? Because it is quite an unusual career
Yeah.
choice.
So I worked for insurance and I had a son. I became a single mum, which wasn't what was my plan, nobody's plan, and became a single mum. I loved the whole pregnancy side of things, but knew that I didn't want any more for myself, but didn't kind of felt sad that the whole pregnancy side of things was going to be the end because it always fascinated me and interested me. And then I'd seen a documentary about surrogacy and I thought that's ideal. That hearing the heartbreaking stories as well, that people had gone through and all, the different reasons that people wanted to start a family and couldn't. I just thought it was something that I wanted to do. And then kind of life gets in the way and you kind of put it on the back burner for a while. And then I was at my parents' one evening and there was a documentary again on surrogacy. And my mum said, "Look, you're not getting any younger." I was about 35 and said, "If you want to, do it, look into it." And I was at work and I just Googled surrogacy. And from the day that I Googled surrogacy to exactly a year later, I'd delivered twins for intended parents. It was that quick.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I have done many different types of journeys. I did traditional surrogacy, which is using my own eggs at first, and had twins. That was my first journey. And the agency that I'd gone with had closed down 6 weeks into the pregnancy. So we were all kind of a bit like, where does that leave us? What do we do from here? And then my second journey I did independently. And from there, I kind of got my passion for wanting to sort of do it myself and help other people as much as I could. My journeys haven't always gone smoothly and without complication. I've had losses for intended parents. I've experienced an ectopic. I got very ill on my last journey. At the end in labour, I got sepsis. But in all of that, it kind of gave me more knowledge and more gave me more understanding and more of an insight into, what people actually go through. When I went through the embryo transfers and things like that and the medication, how, the whole protocol of it gave me an understanding of it. And I decided to open Nappy Endings to keep it a small boutique personal agency that can go on journeys with the intended parents and surrogates and be there for support.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? So as you were saying, you've gone through all the different kind of scenarios, if you like, in your own space. You've gone through an agency that closed down,
Yeah.
doing it yourself, and then through the clinical route through kind of the hospitals, the different methods of traditional versus embryo, and as you say, a perfect birth, a difficult pregnancy, a baby loss. You've got a lot of internal knowledge and empathy that enables you to then support the parents that come to your agency to actually work their way through all those different scenarios and be there for them.
Yeah. And also the surrogates as well, for if anything was to crop up, if they're not feeling that they feel that it's right, they can just ring me and say, "Is this normal?" Just get that bit of reassurance, did this happen to you? And, I don't give medical advice or anything like that, but I can give my own experience, and from my experience, good and bad, I can do that to help other people and help them have a smooth journey as possible.
I think one of the biggest questions of surrogacy is people always have this movie style idea in their head of like, the surrogacy running off with the baby or,
Yes.
the surrogate wanting to be involved at the end of the pregnancy. All the numbers tell us that actually just doesn't happen. That is a movie trailer. How did you feel about the different routes of surrogacy? Did it change your viewpoint of that point when you're handing over either your biological child or somebody else's biological child? Did it have a different kind of impact on you?
No, it didn't. From day one, the babies have never been mine, regardless of, the genetics and the biology around it. I knew straight away that they were never my babies. It was never my journey. It was always for the intended parents. So I've never had a difference. Lots of people ask me, do you feel different to the traditional from the gestational? And I can honestly say there's no difference. And, I have different dynamics of relationships. I'm in touch with them all the intended parents still now. Some, more so than others. But no, never had any difference to my journeys. And as you say, I've had home births, twin deliveries, an emergency C-section, all the different varieties that could have been thrown at me, but every single one's been just as special.
And how does it work legally? So in terms of when you had the baby, how did parents go about actually making that legally their child from the time that they leave the hospital?
So once the baby's born, the intended parents go home with the baby, and we get the baby registered on the birth certificate in surrogate's name. We'll go on the birth certificate with one of the intended parents. And then you used to have to wait 6 weeks. Now we can apply for that straight away. Once we've got the birth certificate, we apply for the parental order straight away. Doesn't get granted before 6 weeks, but it certainly expedites the whole process. Once you've got the birth certificate, we apply for the parental order, then you get assigned somebody from the Children and Family Services. They come and chat to yourself. They chat to the intended parents, make sure it's all been done, reasonably consensual. Nobody's, bribed anybody. There's been no unreasonable exchanges of money. It's only expenses that are reimbursed, and that's it. Once you've met with your CAFCAS officer and everything, and they're all happy, and everything's all submitted to the courts, they then get the intended parents get the court date. And then once the parental order is granted, the surrogate's name comes off and the intended mother or father's name goes on.
So it's very similar to an adoption process, really.
Yeah, a bit less complicated, but yeah, very similar in that sense. So, and as I say, it won't get granted before 6 weeks, but it just hurries it up a bit that we can now apply straight away.
So the agency obviously handles a lot of the paperwork and helps with the legal processing of things. Do you also kind of oversee or help enable that the intended parents and the surrogate, whatever relationship they have before the birth and then afterwards, or do you more or less match them together and then leave them to organise their own kind of relationship?
No, not at all. No. What we do, I like everything to happen organically. So, once the intended parents have sort of met their surrogate and they get to know each other, they take a good amount of time to be sure that everybody's on the same page. Everyone's got the same wishes of the journey that they want. We go through a thorough 16-page agreement, which covers every eventuality, including wishes about contact after birth, covering everything should, how many attempts at transfer, should, God forbid, something happen. It covers pretty much everything that, it would need to. And then once that's completed, we don't just then say, right, see you later and, get on with it. My phone is on 24/7 and we're there to support them through any paperwork they might need, for any support that they might need, leading up to the transfer, the surrogates taking the medication, just being there, just as a support really, to know that they've got someone on the end of the phone that's gone through it, that understands. And the same for the intended parents, we help them sort of negotiate all around their expenses. We help them with assisting them with their wills, life insurance, everything. right the way up to, even after the baby's born, even more so when after the baby's born, making sure that you're in contact with the surrogate and that, the surrogate's doing great and the intended parents are doing great and everything goes well. So we stay with them the whole way through.
That's brilliant. Because, I mean, there is such a focus, isn't there, on sort of maternal, mental health, physical health. Actually, you're supporting both sides of this the whole way through, the surrogate and the intended parents. And actually, having those conversations up front, like you say, going through a whole 16-page document and talking about wishes and intentions. Actually, I think quite a lot of new parents, no matter which route they're going to, could do with sitting down and having a conversation about their wishes and their intentions.
I can still do it now. My son's 18. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, quite useful, actually.
And also, I think a lot of it is being mindful that although people are, a lot of intended parents, they're excited and everything, it can also be very triggering for them, even when their surrogate goes for an ultrasound or, and certain things like that, it can bring back some PTSD and some trauma that they've gone through. Not for everybody, because people come to surrogacy for different reasons. But there are some intended parents that just need that bit of extra support because they can find things triggering and want to know that they've got us there should they need it.
They've already likely gone through a fairly traumatic journey before they've come to surrogacy. So yes, something what we would think is fairly simple, going in for the scan at the 20 weeks or the slightly later one. It could be for some people a real kind of point of, well, actually, this is where I lost my baby, or this is we never got this far before. It can be quite harrowing experience, definitely. I think. But for most, hopefully, it's actually leading to something amazing and that level of excitement is there.
Definitely. And, a lot of the intended parents say to me, oh, I feel guilty. I'm not excited. I should be feeling happier. And I'm like, you will. It will come. And, once they've got that baby, and we'll never erase what heartbreak they've gone through, but it will certainly, heal a small gap in their heart. And then it's amazing to see when it all comes together at the end because, like I say, intended parents feel the pressure to feel a certain way, be a certain way. And I'm like, there's no pressure on you. You've gone through a lot. This isn't a lot of people's first choice to parenthood, and we're mindful of that. So it's just helping them and being understanding and having empathy and there's no two journeys are the same.
No, and I think it really is focusing on that happy ending that you're looking for. And we've got to get rid of this idea of should. You should feel this. You should do that. Actually, no, you feel what you feel. That's perfectly acceptable.
And everybody's got a right to feel how they feel. There's no one can say, like you say, you should feel like that. You shouldn't feel like that. It's just every journey is unique. Every, circumstances are personal to themselves. And, none of us are robots. We're not machines. We're not programmed to be a certain way. And when life throws the unexpected and the most horrific things that in your way, all you can do is, just take it day by day. Once sort of the journey comes together and you see it all at the end, it's just magical. It's amazing.
It's an amazing service, an amazing gift to people. And Nappy Endings, it's growing, isn't it? Like, actually, you've now helped how many families?
We've had just under 50 babies born, and we've also had babies born in America. So we've got the agency over there as well, because I wanted to bring a more personal approach over there. It can be quite transactional over there. And I wanted to make it a little bit, just bring a bit of the personal touch over to the States. So we did that. And constantly, I literally 5 minutes ago just got off a call where we just introduced a surrogate to new intended parents. And it's just magical. Not every day is wonderful. You have days where you have to deal with some really heartbreaking news if a surrogate's gone through a loss or if for some reason the journey can't continue. So the highs are really high, the lows are really low. But I feel truly privileged and lucky to be doing what I do because I absolutely love it, stress and all.
I can imagine. Yeah. As you say, the highs, the actual rewards when you help those 50 families to start their entire parenting journey.
Yeah.
It's probably the greatest gift you can give someone.
Yeah. There's nothing like it. And I still get asked to this day, what does it feel like? And I still can't put it into words, like when you hand over the baby or, obviously I don't do it anymore as a surrogate, but this is the next best thing. And even now seeing, like I say, their journeys and following their journeys, supporting them and, getting that call on the day the baby's born and, getting the photographs and all of that, the scan pictures. And it's amazing. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. And as I say, I think anything we can do to raise awareness of this amazing service that is out there for those that their journey leads to surrogacy and they choose this, these are the type of services that are here. If anybody has questions or wants to follow up, Rachel, your website is nappyendings.com.
Yeah.
Yep. And you'll also see lots of interviews and press releases that have been coming out recently with This Morning and BBC's Good Morning programme. So it's brilliant to actually get the word out a little bit more. So do pop on the website and have a look around on nappyendings.com, because if there's anybody out there that is interested or feels that their journey is going in this direction, this is the kind of service that is available to you. So thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on today. It's been wonderful to chat to you.
Thank you for raising the subject and the topic.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks very much. And we will talk again soon.